In the 6th century BC, the Babylonian Empire held unrivaled political dominion over the known world. Babylon, the sprawling capital city, relied on strict assimilation to control its conquered territories, using a new imperial edict to demand total spiritual submission. Here is a scale comparison between a single human subject and the empire's latest construction. Standing 90 feet tall on the plain of Dura, the golden idol was a towering display of physical dominance, designed to make the individual human feel completely frail and insignificant. The terms of the ultimatum left no room for dissent. When the imperial music sounded, every citizen was required to drop to the dirt in worship. Anyone left standing would be immediately thrown into a blazing execution furnace. At the sound of the horn, tens of thousands of bodies hit the ground in immediate, synchronized compliance. Out of that massive crowd, exactly 3 men remained standing, completely isolated against a sea of bowed heads. By forcing millions to bow to a 90-foot statue, the king replaced individual conscience with state-mandated ritual, ensuring that personal conviction was traded for survival. The 3 isolated men were Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Jewish exiles who had been forced into civil service in Babylon. Standing upright in a massive crowd of kneeling subjects exposed them to immediate execution. Facing an agonizing death forces a violent conflict within the human body. The heart races, oxygen demands spike, and deep survival instincts fight against the quiet resolve of deep spiritual conviction. The king's word was law across his entire domain. Watching 3 minor officials publicly reject his direct command triggered a violent, arrogant rage, exposing the limits of his patience for any challenge to his authority. 3 vulnerable men exposed a vulnerability in the empire. The king could command an army and build a 90-foot statue, but he could not legislate the internal resolve of his captives. To reassert his dominance, the king ordered his guards to prepare the execution chamber. He demanded the furnace be heated to 7 times its normal operating capacity. This diagram shows normal furnace temperatures spiking 700% into a critical red zone, where radiant heat destroys organic matter instantly. As executioners approached the opening, thermal energy breached the safe distance, instantly consuming the guards tasked with the execution. The 3 captives plummeted directly into the heart of the inferno. By all physical laws of thermodynamics, their bodies should have been incinerated before they even hit the floor of the chamber. By pushing the furnace to its thermal limit, the king inadvertently created an environment where standard physical consequences ceased to apply, setting the stage for a defiance of the natural order. Inside the raging heat, the men were not burning. They were untethered, walking freely through the heart of the fire. The fire's lethal energy remained fully active, yet it was entirely ineffective against their physical bodies. The intense heat parted unnaturally, leaving a clear, untouched pocket of air right in the center of the inferno. Then a mysterious 4th figure appeared, walking calmly alongside the 3 men inside the active furnace. The dark, destructive red fire of Babylon swirling around the chamber was suddenly dwarfed by a blinding, supernatural golden light emitting directly from this 4th figure. A standard state execution dissolved into an open display of divine intervention. The presence of the 4th man neutralized the empire's ultimate weapon, rendering the king's death sentence void. Outside the blast radius, the king peered through the severe heat distortion, watching the impossible scene unfold inside his own execution chamber. As the king watches his lethal furnace become a sanctuary, his certainty in his own status begins to erode. He is forced to confront a reality where the physical elements he thought he controlled no longer answer to his command. Desperate to address the situation, the king sprinted toward the door of the furnace and shouted for the 3 men to step out of the flames. While the king could ignite the fire, the men walking through it proved that even the most extreme force of the state has a boundary it cannot cross. The men emerged from the white-hot furnace completely unharmed. Their ancient Middle Eastern cloth robes were flawlessly intact. Their hair was unsinged, and they did not even carry the scent of smoke. The towering, silent golden idols still stood in the background, but its massive scale now felt insignificant compared to the living, breathing reality of the men who survived the fire. Maintaining authentic faith against overwhelming tyranny does not guarantee a safe path around the fire. The three captives faced the ultimatum, accepted the consequences, and walked directly into the flames. The ultimate victory over impossible odds is the quiet, unwavering resolve of the human spirit, backed by the promise of divine presence waiting within the furnace.